I'm not allowed to make any YouTube videos at the moment because we're very, very busy. We're moving to California. But I wanted to let you know what my race plans are for 2023 before my race plans for 2023 have actually happened. So let's do that right now. Okay, it's Saturday the 28th of January 2023. Hold on, why am I still whispering? I've come down here to the East Pier in Dunleary. I want to fill you in on what races I've got lined up for the year ahead. I've got 7 crackers lined up. First one is in 2 weeks' time. So I'm going to call this my 3 lighthouse run because I'm going to take in the East Pier Lighthouse, the West Pier Lighthouse, and then we're going to go off out to Poolbeg Lighthouse. I got to do a long run because my first race is in 2 weeks and it is a long run. So I'll fill you in when we get to the East Pier Lighthouse. Let's go. Okay, we've made it here to the East Pier Lighthouse. Let's talk all things races. So my first race is the Donadea 50k. It is in exactly 2 weeks' time. By all accounts, it is a flat road shoes, even though it is in a forest trail race. So should be quick. I believe a lot of birds flying around. I believe a lot of fast road runners are going to be there. So look, a bit of fun. It first came to my attention as a potential qualifier for the Spartathlon. I've never done a Spartathlon, but when I was looking at potential ways of getting in, when you see a race, you start looking at how do you qualify for these things. It's not on my radar for the immediate future, but that's how this race, the Donadea 50, came to my attention as a potential entry point there. Okay, next up we are going to make our way over to the West Pier. It'll be a couple of miles, and then I shall tell you about race number 2. Okay, let's go. Oh yeah, one thing I forgot to mention about the Donadea 50, which I only found out after I registered, is that it's actually 10 loops of a 5-kilometer course. So you go around 10 times. Interesting. I initially thought I wouldn't like it, but now the more I think about it, it's kind of you set yourself a 5k, goal and see if you can stay consistent on that. I don't know. Let's see. Play around in my head for the next 2 weeks. All right, here we are heading out onto the West Pier in Dunleary. Okay, so my second race of the year is going to be the Kinvara half marathon. Unusual choice, sticking with the road shoes. Kinvara is in South County Galway on the other side of Ireland, but the reason we're going to travel over there is because we have good friends living nearby, and this is kind of a farewell tour really. I've got 2 races left, the Kinvara half marathon, and I'll tell you about the third one at our next checkpoint. We'll have to put something in between this and the lighthouse way over there though, because that's just going to be too darn far. But the Kinvara half marathon, I ran the full marathon a couple of years ago with Claire. We actually ran together. Mixed weather, mixed bag. It's an unusual course out in the burn, but very enjoyable. It will be only 3 weeks after the Donadea 50. Not sure exactly what my recovery will be like after that. Let's go and find out. But it's not going to be a all-out effort. Well, probably will be actually, but I'm not looking to set any major markers down on that one. It's more meet with our friends and have a bit of crack. All right, let's keep moving. Alright, I'm down here on Sandymount Strand, as good a place as any to tell you about race number 3, a classic on the Irish trail running calendar, the Maurice Mullins. This year they're doing both a 50k and an 80k, and while I would normally choose to run the 80k, I'm going to do the 50k this year, and it'll become clear when I tell you what race number 4 is. It's just that it's only a month later and it's 100k, and I want to be as fresh as I can be for that, so I'm going to step down from the 80k to the 50k, and it's not going to be any easier though, because it's a championship trial race, so you're going to have a lot of very fast runners who are looking to get the 4-hour finish time to qualify. how somebody finishes this race, and like I'll explain all these races in greater detail when we come to them, but 4 hours for this just seems insane. But like the rest of us, we'll all go out and give it a good lash anyway. It's going to be along similar trails as you would have seen if you watched my Eco Trail 80k race, so it's along the parts of the Wicklow Way. That's race number what are we up to? 1, 2, 3. Race number 3, the Maurice Mullins 50k. That is at the end of March, and actually it's the day just before we fly out to California on that one-way ticket. I'll tell you a bit more about that at race number 4. Okay, let's keep moving. Alright, race number 4. In the States, California, starts in Auburn, and any of you who are familiar with the Western States will recognize the name. The Western States finishes in Auburn, so this race is going to go out along that course in the reverse direction, so it excites me for that reason that I'll get to see some of the Western States course. It's 100 kilometers. That is why I'm picking the 50k option in the Maurice Mullins. I want to try and be as fresh as possible for the Canyons 100k. The other good thing about the Canyons 100k is that it is a UTMB major, which means I will get double stones, since I've only got 1 stone at the moment, which was gifted to me for being a 3-time loser in the UTMB lottery. So for doing the 100k in this race, I will get 6 running stones. So I'll be away and running, pardon the pun, but no plans to do the UTMB in the immediate future, but at least I will have those in the bag for when I do. 100k is 4,000 meters of vert. It starts low and ends high, so it should start warm and end cold. I've watched some of the videos, and depending on the year, it can end up a bit brutal up at the high end of the finish. So that is race number 4. Yeah, so just to fill you in very briefly, Claire's job is taking her over to Thousand Oaks, which is just north of Los Angeles. So I am being the willing husband and packing in my job in the short term. We'll see what happens longer term, and going to go over and run in the trails of California. So you'll hear some more about 1 or 2 other races that I've got lined up as we make our way out towards Poolbeg Lighthouse. Okay, onwards and upwards. Alright, we made it. Lighthouse number 3, Poolbeg. Okay, so race number, what were we? We had the Donadea 50, then we had the Kinvara half, then we had the Maurice Mullins 50k, then we had the Canyons 100k in Auburn in California. Okay, after that I've signed up for a 100-miler. I like to get a 100-miler in at least every year. So it is 100 miles in the Santa Monica Mountains just north of Malibu. So we'll be living in that general area, which yes is very nice. So I kind of felt it will be my kind of home trail, so I should have plenty of opportunity to recce it. Alright, that's the next one, 100 miles, 9th of June, the Soma. If you want to look it up, it's the Soma 100 miles. Actually, did I say Soma? I meant Samo, the Samo 100. Okay, now I really do mean it. Onwards, back around the bay. I seem to have come upon a race. You're leading the pack?
Yeah.
Good man. How long's the race?
5k.
5k. Alright, keep going, you got this. Oh no, this is the Irish Town 5k park run. That's what this is. Got it.
This gonna count.
So that's not a race at all. Don't feel nearly as guilty. Back down on Sandymount Strand. Might as well take the opportunity to tell you about race number 6. Now I don't want to use the word classic in too flahulika manner, but race number 6 truly is a classic. And what was hilarious was how I found out about it. Now I had put my name in the lottery, so I knew I was in with a chance, but for some reason in my head the lottery was taking place a week later than it actually took place. So Claire and I were sitting on the couch. She asked me to check my email for something that she had sent me. She was oblivious as well. And when I opened my email, I thought it was one there from Leadville. So I said I'd open it up and it said, "You're in." So Claire starts jumping around the place. Whereas in my head, I'm still thinking, hold on, the lottery isn't supposed to take place for another week. I got to make sure this isn't saying, "You're in the lottery, congratulations and best of luck." But after slow and careful double reading and triple reading, it was true. Leadville 100, baby, here we come. So I left my calendar wide open there, so that's good. I've got over 2 months after the Samo 100. The Samo 100 is the 9th of June and the Leadville 100 is the 19th of August. Perfect. 100 miles, over 10,000 feet, or at least the race takes place at 10,000 feet, so altitude is the next stretching element of my running that I'm going to have to work on in some way, manner or form, so we'll figure that out. But oh man, Camille Herron is running, Courtney DeWalter is running, and I'm sure a lot more of the running glitterati will be there, so it's going to be absolutely epic. Can't wait. Although I do need to find a pacer, because what I just read the other day is that pacers who can join you at mile 62 are allowed to carry all your gear, all your fuel, equipment, whatever. So that's an advantage you probably want to take advantage of. So there's another thing to figure out. All right, that's race number 6. Onwards and onwards to race number 7, which has actually been on my calendar for a number of years, but due to COVID and deferment, I've been kicking the can down the road. All right, I'll tell you about that in a minute. I like to go cross country through Booterstown Park. I wonder how many of you have been watching my channel long enough to remember the classic orchestral piece I did on the xylophone way back at the beginning of 2022. I won't bore you with it again now, but it truly was a classic. I'd been practicing for months. Finally nailed it. Moment in time. You're welcome. Alright, if you've hung around this long in the video, I'm going to give you some bonus footage that you're going to say, man, I really wish you hadn't given me that bonus footage. If you're squeamish, I did a bit of spring cleaning yesterday, ultramarathon runner style. The big toenail on my right foot, which can't seem to catch a break, had already been in bad shape up until the Cape Town race, but that really put paid to it. So it had to come off. It was dead anyway. So yeah, look away now and I'll tell you when you can look again if you're of a squeamish disposition. Okay, you can look back. Sorry about that. Just realised that by coming along this pedestrian route, I've cut off my normal turny, uppy, righty section to get home in the fastest possible manner. So I think I'm going to go over here and tell you about my final race of the year before heading back home. Alright, so my final race of the year is the... Okay, I had to consign that last clip to the cutting room floor. The rain and the lens started deforming my face to a level I just couldn't live with, I'm afraid. But that's alright, it's now Tuesday morning. I'm over here in Kilboggett Park because there is a nice track here, and I'm just going to do a little bit of a track session. Don't do them too often, but since I've got two effectively road sessions or road races coming up, I'll do a little bit. Carefully, mind you. Track work and speed work I've found can be dangerous, but I've been doing it now the last one session a week the last 2 weeks, and it's just, I did 8 by 1k the last 2 weeks. I'll do 5 by 1k today, just because we're only 11 days out from the Donadea 50k. Okay, job done. Time to head home. 2 miles back to the house. Nice and easy. Okay, last race of the season is the Chicago Marathon on the 8th of October. So what is that? That's about 7 weeks after the Leadville. So Leadville is my A race, so it's going to eat into my Chicago Marathon training plan, but we'll still go out and give Chicago a good rattling. Claire and I are both going to be running that race. We were due to run it in 2020. But then of course the inevitable happened, so they allowed you to defer for 3 years, so we could have done it in 21, 22, or the last year we can do it is 2023. So we kicked the can down the road as far as we could, and now we're going to be living in America, so it makes it a little bit easier. Oh, very windy this morning, but beautiful. Can't beat an early morning run. Okay, so that's the plan. We have the Donadea 50 in 11 days time. 3 weeks after that, we have the Kinvara half marathon. 3 weeks after that, we have the Mullins 50k. I think it's 4 weeks after that, we've got the Canyons 100k. Then I've got about 7 weeks to the Samo Santa Monica. I get it now, 100 miler. And then we've got over 2 months to Leadville, and finally 7 weeks to the Chicago Marathon. Whether I throw something in at the end of the year, I won't be doing it anytime soon if that is the case. I will do a look back video as well, because there was a lot of learnings in 2022 and a lot of things that I thought were learnings, and then when I tried to use them again, they didn't work nearly as good as I thought they would. So I'll get around to that when I have a bit more time on my hands. But for now, it's all eyes on the Donadea 50. Let's go!